say in your mind, say to yourself, I am more than my physical body, because I am more than physical matter. I can perceive that which is greater than the physical world.
Do not know all the answers to the questions about reality. Do not claim to know the ultimate truth about life. I seek that which has been made hidden as a part of a family amongst lords of consciousness. I'm the Voidwalker.
Welcome to Lighting the Void.
All broadcasting live upstate from the Great Lakes in New York. It's Lighting the Void live on the Fringe FM. Tonight it's Cosmic Conditions, the new moon with Mary Decina, Monday night, April the 12th on into the 13th. And boy, are you feeling that Aries moon energy. I hope you are. Call-in number for tonight's 1-800-588-0335. And Mary's going to come on here and going to give us the energies, and then we're going to do the readings as we always do. But first, I got something to say. If you want to support us, go to lightingthevoid.com. Make sure that you support us, right? And I want to thank everybody that's got, man, we've sold a whole bunch of swag. Crazy. We sold a whole bunch of swag this weekend. It was incredible. And I also got to meet, real quick, I got to tell you this, because if I don't want to forget about this. I met Chuck and Barbie and Trimmer right here in Rochester. I found some really cool Voidwalkers right here in the Rochester area. We had a cool weekend, went out and had a blast. If you're in the Rochester area, make sure you go visit Mellow Madness Tattoo. And I'm hoping before I leave this place, I'm going to get my own Voidwalker sigil stamped on my skin before I get out of here, right? Chuck was a really cool guy. We hung out. They took me into their home. I got to hang out with these people. And it's really crazy because if you meet a Voidwalker, you know instantly. You make that connection. You have that trust. And you just click. And we all clicked. And it was real fun. Also want to thank every one of you guys for continuing to support the show. So I just want to tell you that. Thank you guys so much. So Mary Decina is here with us. It is the new moon. That means it's time to start manifesting stuff. We're about to go through a new cycle. And Mary has been here for a couple of years now. She's the mother of this show. If you want to visit her website, you go to marydusina.com, MARYDUSINA.com. And we can do the introduction, of course. Born on Halloween, Mystic Mother Mary. How are you? How you been?
Hi. Hello to you in New York and the starry tribe of the Voidwalkers and the Fringe FM. Blessings to all the hosts and the guests and the magic that happens here. And hello from the Smoky Mountains. It's your mountain mystic coming on. It's Aries time. It's Aries time. It's time for our inner child to play. It's time for our inner child to have its say. So Aries is an exciting spring and Aries and moving into Beltane and you know the first. I call Aries, Joe, sky fire. And when you look at fire in the sky, maybe you're watching the military jets, maybe you're watching a rainbow or lightning or the fire of the stars or the radiant moonbeams, you know, or the beautiful sun and everything with the sun, G-I-F-T, gifts to us. So Aries is the fire in the sky, and it's the fire of our desires. And it's also okay in Aries to think about the Almighty I Am blending with the I Am of yourself, because Aries' motto, each one of the 12 spices and constellations and flavors of the zodiacal creatures, they have an affirmation, and Aries is I am, which is also very, very powerful across the world. And a lot of intentions, metaphysical and Christian, and, I am that I am, and Aries is the Lamb of God, and Aries is the ram, and the Jewish people blow the shofar, which is the trumpet, if you will, at Passover and Yom Kippur, that has a lot to do, it comes off the Aries, ram, it comes off the ram. The shofar is the ram's horn that is used in a sacred way. So Aries is it's the first fire sign in the Western zodiac, so it's time for us to look at how do the fires of what's instigating me and inspiring me and what I want to aspire to do. Each new moon is unique, truly, that audience, but this particular new moon, like we haven't been going through a lot of strong celestial storms and things since this whole thing of last year, but this is a stellium in Aries, which is when you've got more than 3 or 4 planets lining up in the same celestial frequencies. So we've got, of course, at the new moon, the sun and the moon marry. They're in the same sign, so they're together with a concert of illuminations in Aries. Fire. So this is bold and brave, and it's the warrior and the superhero and the knight on vision quest. It's that going forward. We've left the season of Pisces, the 12th sign, which has a lot to do with, now let me go be contemplative. What is my anchor in a sacred walk, in a spiritual way? What enlivens and empowers my soul? But also the sign before this one, last month's new moon, was about, as Joe said, completing that cycle. This is the first new moon as we celebrate the beginning of the new year on equinox in the northern hemisphere, the spring equinox. This is the first new moon of our new year because it also is the great turning of the wheel of Aries in the Western zodiac. It's masculine, it's yang, it's about boldly, like the old Star Trek series, Captain Kirk. In real life, that actor is an Aries, and so was Spock, by the way, although he played a great Virgo. But the logo, the motto of that show of Star Trek, the original, and not all the new movies that they made, was to boldly go where no man has gone before. So it's the pioneer archetype. It can be the pirate. It can be the, excavationist. So it's got to do with, I'm going to do this thing. So that's where Aries in the shadow side get their reputation for being a bit too assertive in traffic, a bit too impatient in their personal life. Aries, like this other cardinal sign of water, Cancer, they need touch. They need human interaction. So in this corona pandemic, there's been a lot of division to do with stay home, don't interact with anybody, and for God's sakes, don't kiss, don't fall in love, don't touch, don't go to a party, don't go to each other's house for the holidays. And people took different perspectives on that. So Aries needs to have that connection. Cancer needs to have the nurturing. Capricorn needs to build on the relationship. These are the 4 signs right now that are really enhanced for the next 3 weeks. And then Libra needs to make peace. So Aries is known as the hawk of war and dynamic participation. So we enter this celestial new year of 2021 with some key dates in April. So first I'd like to have everybody just very quickly, because I can run through this fast, I can do this really quick, the quickening of the stars. But I'd like, because it's our new year, celestially and in a cosmic way, I'd like you just to close your eyes for just a second, and as you inhale, Almighty I am, all that is, Great Spirit, Holy Spirit, thank you for my life and the ability to really embrace it and live it. Thank you for my prosperity. Thank you for my divine alignment and balance of my spirit into my mind, flowing through my emotional prosperity and then into my earth physical body temple. I give thanks for this. Aho, amen. Okay, that's one to set the shields. So we have some interesting twists coming up with this next week. If we look at the energy coming in with, as Joe said, the 12th going into the 13th of this April of 2021, the dynamic that we have right now is we've got really keen insight and we've got the ability to look at all four corners of the situation, like backwards, forwards, east and west, what's to the side of me, what's before me, and what am I leaving behind me. Aries is about it's a desire aligning with the mind. So with Mars right now in Gemini, Mars governs the sign of Aries, and Mars is in the sign that Mercury governs. So right now we have a very compatible energy of those two yang energies of Mars in Gemini, which is going to give us, like you just talked about, Joe, the actual meeting up with new tribe. The actual starting to come together again and have these meet and greets and these dynamic sales and marketing. And we're kind of like weed and feeding our life garden, though. So this last week intense with my clients and my friends talking to me going, what the? So last week was about deceptions being uncovered. It was about the energy thieves in our life, and might I add, where we might have been avoiding things or lying to ourselves.
You weren't playing with that. I have to tell you that, like, the moment you sent me something on Facebook about it, like, here comes all the liars and deceptions and all the stuff is coming out, right? Like today, you sent that to me like last Friday, right?
Oh yeah,
and
because it was coming up for
if not like 2 hours after that, the craziest thing happened to me that just changed everything. Like, I saw a year and a half of my life just unravel itself in like 10 minutes.
Last week was like,
I think I saw more than a year and a half of my life unravel itself.
I'm sure.
In 10 minutes,
yeah. Well, we're skipping timelines. We're really finding out, coming from Pisces into Aries of this year, given what all we went through that was divisive in 2020 and continues to try to be with our civil liberties and our beliefs and everything and the fear porn. What's happening is last week we had Pluto. It's still going on a little bit with other planets because we have so much Aries going on. But the psychological and soul-based perspective, lesson, and graduation is wherever we've been enabling, codependent, avoidant, needy, where we've been giving the best of us to those that didn't, maybe because they couldn't, really perceive the quality of us, our what we come to the table with, how sincere we were. And by the way, if you're out there, if you're the liar or the betrayer or the false face, this is the week of karma. So what I didn't send Joe yet, but I've put all over my Facebook pages and Instagram on Facebook, because Joe and I always forget to say this, it's Cosmic Conditions, which is what the show's called, and then I have a page called Star Shaman. So what I've been saying this week is like, okay, last week was our eyes being eyes wide open. It's like, holy moly, I need some sacred smoke. And what's going on this week? Yeah, what's going on this week might be a few castings or meditative ceremonies or dropping of the guillotines emotionally, because it's like, you know what? If you're going to pay to play, or you're not in this friendship or this business agreement or this intimacy of a friend or a lover with a win-win attitude, and you're showing up with seeds of deception, guess what? It's weed and feed time for my life garden, and I'm going to eradicate the weeds that don't serve a purpose and nurture the herbs and the plants, because this is that time to put the seeds in for this entire year. When I say entire year, I'm talking about the third week of March of 2021 into that same time of 2022. So make no mistake about it, this has a bridge that forms to 2022. So each one of these signs has a different kind of application of our soul fire and our ability to work with the elements that the great I Am has gifted us. So this is about, where do you feel mighty, almighty I Am? What are you putting after the statement, I am, fill in the blank? And so that might be what I'm not going to do now, what I'm not going to allow now. So Aries is also about pulling back your energy and not letting other tentacles or shadows or the darkness try to come in. It's a time of temptation. Last week was like exposing the dark forces, and where maybe you need to work with whatever and however you connect to the Creator, of how to get the tea commercial where he goes, shields up. I love that. I love that. So this is that time that we need to understand that we're not being punished. We're being shown a bright light of the fire, the sacred fire, the holy fire of saying, look at what you didn't see before, and look at where maybe Spirit canceled some things, moved some people out of your immediate environment, and sometimes when they're moved away from you, like suddenly, then that gap allows fresh vibrations to come in. Aries is all about the fresh seeds, the seeds of change. So on what we're moving into now, with this being the 12th, 13th, 14th, is Venus, which rules the sign of Taurus Libra. She's going to slide home. She's going to go into the pasture that she's most comfortable with sensuality and pleasure in our life, like soft moments and pleasures and just hanging out and like, man, I miss this. This is so nice. Over the 13th and the 14th, Venus moves in to the sign of Taurus, and that energy favors you earth signs out there, Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. It's an earth yin vibration that's coming in powerful.
Happy birthday, Dan Lopez. I forgot. He just turned his birthday here on the East Coast.
Reverend Dan, happy birthday. I sent him his little birthday thing on Facebook, too. Yes, what a special Aries he is. And then when we get to the 23rd of April, Mars is going to shift from the air element, or the monkey mind and the restless mind, and just feeling like we're a jumping bean all over the place and maybe scattered or convoluted and not being able to get any organization. Mars is going to move into the water sign of Cancer the Crab. Mars is not well placed in the sign of Cancer the Crab, but it's going to help calm us, slow us down, and we're not going to be around, you talked about meeting these people, we're not just going to be around people for something to do. It's going to give an in-depth quality to who's coming into our life on into the end of May. So this is about Spirit and fate and the great I Am and our beloved Holy Ghost, great Spirit, great mystery, is connecting us since last week. It's closing doors so other doors are opening up. Now, this is the active week. Last week was the revelatory week. But this new moon is like, all right, I showed you. Now what you're going to do with it? You're going to fall right back into the same kind of pattern, or you're going to show up in your life with what you want to manifest as the attitude that you're showing and that you're walking, as they say in recovery programs. Don't just talk the talk, walk it.
Yeah.
So this new moon is squaring off with Pluto. So Pluto in Capricorn, we've got Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius now, and as you know, Joe, I call that the A-team. I love it when Aries energies and Aquarius energies are in concert with each other. It's a nice frequency of accomplishment. And I see this week as major steps, there's a quickening going on this week. And this is a week of it's accomplished quickening of our vibrations. Much is going to be shown to us. And in our dream time, in our meditations, in our oracle work, in how Spirit, with Skyfire, what Spirit's going to do is it's going to open you to Mother Nature and Great Spirit's guidance. So we're taking actions as we're walking into our new life garden, and I feel like that we're going to have like new people flowers, like social flowers, and social healing medicine is coming up. And the people that we're meeting, now follow me on this one and listen deeply. The people that are calling us and coming into our life, yes, always use your discernment. But the people that we're connecting up with by some interesting ways of Kismet fate are bringing to us not just a season, but some in-depth reasons. I feel like we're reconnecting with our ancient tribe, and perhaps our ancestors are involved in that. You know, our great ancestors and our DNA lineage, and how Great Spirit in tandem with Mother Earth walks along beside us. So every astrologer out there has been talking about all the Aries planets. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. Just know that it's the I Am and what you're going to activate and aspire to create. Now, Aries doesn't mean you have to finish it. Aries means begin it, get it started, take that leap of faith. When we get to April the 18th and 19th, the Sun is going to be shifting along with the sign Venus, already there ahead of the Sun in Taurus, and the Sun is going to join the great messenger Mercury in what we call the critical or the final degrees of the sign of Aries. Anytime something's happening going from the 28th to the 29th degree of a particular spice flavor, celestial flavor, this is an excellent time to send forth what you want, to say what you want and mean what you say. And that's definitely over the 18th and the 19th of April. And so you'll have time to get the replay up so people can hear this. The big kahuna day is the 21st and 22nd of April. This is when Venus, the Empress in the Tarot, Venus and the goddess energy and the yin of, Botticelli's Venus rising from the foam of the ocean on her shell, she's going to meet up with Uranus in the sign of Taurus. So this is always about the impact of that door that we saw about our past and what we need to let go of, and whatever it is, it's like the Buddhist, it is what it is. Not being attached to the outcome. But Uranus is going to bring us in the enlightenment bolts of upgrading our soul and cellular levels. So Aries is really good for you picking one thing that you can do to improve your health. That might be just not drinking diet soda anymore. It might be drinking a little less sweet tea, or it might be, combining protein when you have your sugar snacks. So Aries is a great time all the way up until April the 19th, you to say, what's the one thing that I could either add or subtract that could be like an upgrade that I'm using my discipline with, that I'm not going to blame or shame myself with, but that I'm going to start incorporating, and just work with that for 30 days minimum. It takes 30 days to change a habit. When you study hypnosis or you do deep psychological work or the shamanic meditations or ceremony, you understand that when you want to really ground an idea as above, so below, you need to let that 30 days happen from whence you first declare it. My favorite full moon of the year is the second supermoon of 2021, and it's known as Wesak, W-E-S-A-K. In some cultures, like in Vietnam, they spell it with a V as in Valentine. So Wesak or Vesak is always when the sun's in Taurus, and the full moon then is opposite that in Scorpio. And it's all about, you can look it up, it's wonderful. I'll post it on my Facebook page, all about Wesak and the festival in the Himalayas. That's not a full moon I ever book anything on, because I'm always outside in prayerful ceremony underneath the star and the moon. I love the Wesak full moon, the Buddha moon. And so it has to do with the three stages of Gautama Buddha, the birth, the life purpose, and then the enlightenment, and then the exit of the Buddha. So legend has it that Passover Easter is the Christ full moon, when the full moon is in Libra. Then we have the Buddha moon, which is coming up over the 26th of April, and it's the Christ and the Buddha help mankind here with all the problems and obstacles and fears and hopes that's going on. Those that tune in at those meditations receive those illuminations. So then the final of the Ascended Master's moon then occurs in the third week of May, coming up to an eclipse, always in the sign of Sagittarius, and that one is known as the Festival of Goodwill, and this is when all saints and all Ascended Masters, for those aspirants or people that choose to tune in and pray and meditate and do ceremony under the full moon of the Christ, the Buddha, and the Festival of Goodwill, the Christ and the Buddha join, and anyone that tunes in for that 7 to 8 minutes then receives that cellular and that soul shimmer, that upgrade. And it's like you just go out there and listen. You're not asking, you're not trying to see visions. You just allow yourself to be encoded by the higher frequency. So that's very exciting for the full moon. We have let me repeat that, no retrograde planets at all until Pluto retrogrades on the 27th of April. Lord God, get out there and let your message be marketed. Do the sales work you need to do, like Joe did. Thank the people that are showing up and sending the check or buying the merch or doing all of that. Honor the people that have been loyal to you and have been true to their word and shown the best of their character in your life, especially with your work and your career, and enhanced you and never stabbed you in the back and never tried to pull a competitive or envious move. So you're finding your tribe right now, and that's going to be your foundation as we go into Taurus, as we go into the next sign. Before we get together on May 11th at that new moon, Taurus is going to be how it's beginning to be reliable and building emotional and financial worth and value and security in your world. So do you want me to run through the signs, or do you have to take a quick break?
No, go ahead. Go through the signs.
Okay. So for Aries, happy birthday, especially happy birthday to our Captain Joe and Reverend Dan. God bless you, and may prosperity of the soul first bless your whole new birth year. So for Aries, simply put, there's fierce forces that we're reckoning with, but the spotlight is bright for Aries. So the trials and travails that have been around you, people that have your sun or your rising, especially in the sign of Aries, if you're doing that Aries-Libra axis, the spotlight is now bright to shine on anything that's shadowy, anyone that's shadowy, and God bless them. It's all lessons, it's all soul seasoning in our life soup. But the spotlight is now bright for Aries to say, I'm going to invoke holy forces and sacred energies for my health and my wealth and the people that I'm supposed to be walking with in my earth walk, that my spirit will have a better alignment with. So sometimes that is like the biblical, you don't always have to sacrifice the lamb, and you don't always have to be busy or stagnant separating the wheat from the chaff. So this is more about being dynamic with your discernment. It's dynamic discernment. It's time to put things in action. So for Aries, it is your new year. It is your time to put those ideas out there. And I have to say for Aries, too, don't reveal or talk about your ideas right now to others that you've not vetted as not being a little envious or greedy or competitive with you. In magic, you keep those creative ideas, those brilliant flashes of insight to yourself.
That's probably one of the hardest lessons I've ever learned, what you just said, in my entire life.
Yep. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for the validation. You don't have to. It's like the little kid in us wants to go, I found a quarter. So it's like, I found a feather. It's like sometimes Spirit is testing you to give you, training you to receive divine messaging, and we get excited, want to share it with our lover or our husband or our wife or our best friend or whatever, and Spirit's like, no, you're now in a training, oh magician, oh alchemist. You're now in a training with the divine forces, and this is for you. This isn't for them. They might try to take the idea and run with it. This is for you. This is for you. And you know what? It's okay if it's for you. It's okay if this is a heavenly manifestation that's going to bless you. Now, as you kind of keep that idea to yourself until it's cemented, then it will ultimately bless the people that you care about, because you didn't dilute it. You didn't dilute it by telling a bunch of people about it. I may do this, or I'm going to do this, or I'm thinking about this. So you keep that idea, that seed pod idea, germinating with the golden light of the Almighty I Am. And then once you've anchored it, captains, once you've anchored it and you've put your signature of energy on it, your sigil or whatever, you've gotten it out there yourself and kind of put it in the harbor with your name and energies on it, because you've decided you're going to participate with this energy. Then if you tell others, you've already done your anchor that you need to do. So for Aries, that's a big lesson. And second to that are people with Libra or Libra rising. So if you're a Taurus, this is your tender time. It's your 12th house solarly, or unless your rising sign is Taurus, then it's a natal 12th house. So it's a tender cycle to restore, to recoup, and to get your inner world realigned and favored. So the big days for Taurus are that Venus going into Taurus over the 14th and 19th, and then as I told you, when the sun then toward the end of the month lines up with Uranus, that could be a little bit of an earth-shanking to do with things that matter to Taurus over the 21st and 22nd of April. If you're a Gemini, Mars is in Gemini until it slides on into Cancer, which will go into your financial sector. But for Geminis right now, your social life is getting fertilized. There's some new blossoms of meant to be, fated meetups, and being able to find a new team to implement an idea. So Gemini is going to be, they're better busy anyway, but they're going to be getting the kinks out of the team that they need to have actually to go forward with an idea. If you're Moonchild, Cancer the Crab, major life choices. When Mars slides into your sign, it's been 2 years, Cancer, Moonchild, it's been 2 years since Mars has lit up your sign. So Cancer and Taurus like to take their time, and they don't like anybody to tell them what to do or when to do it, especially on their emotional, intimate, personal decisions. But you're rising up stronger now, and you're going to be able to take the initiative. But I do see that there were some emotional and psychological kicks in the butt that happened over the last 3 months, and you're now finding out over the last 18 months what was for you and what was against you, that kind of a thing. If you've got the Cancer rising, the Cancer moon, the Cancer sun sign. If you're a Leo, bold changes. This is Aries. So Leo and Sagittarius share a starry affinity. That's the 3 fire signs. So for Leo, it's your fellow fire sign. This empowers you and your visions, but you need to explore, actually put one foot in front of the other, be encouraging to others, and also take care of yourself. This is the time for Leo to kind of do some self-maintenance, kind of have a talk with the mirror, as I always say. If you're Virgo, there needs to be a spring cleaning of your soul, Virgo. This is a time to declutter all those anxiety triggers and when you can't go to sleep because your mind won't shut up. So there's a reason why you might want to, Virgo likes to research, it might be better for you to, Virgo, to study mindfulness or maybe some self-hypnosis. You can go on the internet and explore that, get the definition, and then try it kind of privately in your own home. But it's an 8th house thing for Virgo. Virgos like to be really logical, but I got to tell you, Virgo, there's going to be maybe some spirits of your ancestors or dream experiences or maybe even an out-of-body flight where Virgo goes, what was that? Or you see a UFO. Something's going to be kind of more afterlife, otherworldly for you Virgos until the end of this month. If you're Libra, you're quite simply smashing the barriers, breaking the speed of sound, breaking the sound barrier. You're done people-pleasing. If you're a Libra or you've got a Libra rising sign, or you're done with partnership groveling or taking a back seat, always waiting. Yeah, you're done. Remember now, Libra's the dove of peace, Aries the hawk of war. So if you get an Aries that's held back their impatience, male or female, and that has wanted to be understanding of other people, because remember, if you're an Aries, your partnership sign is Libra, so you tend to put the partner first, which is a good thing unless you go overboard. So if you're a Libra or a Libra rising, then you have to also remember to take care of yourself and then also find that alignment to not put your needs always out there all the time. So it depends on the level of the Aries evolvement, doesn't it? And also depends on the male or the female Aries intentions, because, like Leo, Aries can be a little bit emotionally selfish, like they don't really want to give up what they've already established. They want to kind of just add on to it. But an evolved Aries is like, you know what? Nah, I'm playing for real, and I'm not doing cray-cray. Yeah. So that's what's going on with Libra in your chart right now. You're done always putting the other person's needs first. You're done. Now, you don't have to swing all the way to the other extreme and get narcissistic, but it's okay if you take care of you and not be kind of fuming with that Aries smoke. Don't get mad about it. Just implement the change. If you're a Scorpio, it's a 6th house solar dynamic with the Aries. We've got some stuff going into Taurus, so this is a grand month to embrace healthier options. Maybe you're going to study the herbs or take a Reiki training or upgrade that, or minerals that fortify you. Maybe take a nutrition seminar or Zoom or class, because Scorpio needs to, you Scorpios out there or Scorpio risings, you need to detox like every 3 months. So whether that's get the tea, whether that's, smoothies, whether that's fasting, this is one of those cycles for Scorpio. If you're a Sagittarius, that's the other fire sign. There's your 3rd fire sign. So you're daring with your desires right now. And I got to say, for Saggies, you're dancing with chance. You want to flirt. You want to get out, have fun. I see Sagittarians around music and art venues and crafting. And it's just like Saggies are on the move. I mean, they're on horseback and they're taking off. If you're a Capricorn, got to take charge of your home, your sanctuary, that vortex of where you hang your hat, take off your boots, and seek refuge and rest. There's some kind of new, redecorations or renovations or decluttering. It's a good time, Capricorn, to really think seriously about whether you're going to stay where you are, you're going to renovate, move, or sell. If you're Aquarius, almost to the last sign, it's a 3rd house transit, so Aquarians, you've got a lot of creativity orbiting around you. Speak about it, market it, study it, network it, and maybe even teach it. Aquarians can be quite the interesting teachers when they set their minds to it. And if you're a Pisces, there's kind of an energy right now with Taurus, with the whole Piscean thing. There's a part of you that is thinking about the money, show me the money. But I got to say, Pisces, your balance sign is Virgo, and a lot of Pisces I know They give and they give and they give, but they don't realize that sometimes there's an energetic signature to that psychically or spiritually. It's like, okay, I gave to you. I was there when you really needed somebody and everybody else abandoned you. So always remember, I'm the one that gave the car. I'm the one that gave the money. I'm the one that let you stay here. I'm the one that made love to you. I'm the one that soothed your head and your furrowed brow. So you'll be there for me too, right? Yeah, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. That's some kind of like attachment, energetic attachment. And it would be nice if people show up and do that just automatically without you putting an energy cord or a psychic knot upon that. But I feel like Pisces is going through specifically seeing where they need to get more balance in their financial world, and that's just the earthly representation of where maybe they're emotionally got a deficit. So I just want to finish by saying to Pisces, is it a credit or is it a debit? How about that?
Is that the signs? Well,
yeah.
All right, that was quick. All right, cool.
I show up prepared, Joe. I show up prepared.
Yes, so I still got to ask you, because
please.
I found out today that I'm just this massive selfish person that only thinks about himself all the time. So I'm going to ask you a selfish question.
Please do.
I have so if you're an Aries sun and a Libra rising, I feel like I'm in this crazy whirlwind all the time, So a lot of times when you hear readings, and I think people, the reason why I'm saying this is I think people get tripped up because if you're an Aries or something, and let's say you're in a relationship with another Aries, then the Aries readings you're like, well, what do I do with that, right? Or, when you have balancing signs that are in the same thing with each other, I don't know.
Okay, well, for example, if there's an Aries with a Libra rising, that makes them a much stronger Aries because the polarity to Aries is Libra. The polarity to Libra is Aries. So let's say that one of those people is an Aries with Libra strong in their chart. So they're more Aries, and they've come in this life walk to experience both. Think about your archetypes. The Prince, Knight Galahad, and the knight. It's like the Knight of Wands, or it's like
right.
the white knight that comes in and says, "I can very protective. I can protect this. I'll show up. I'll protect you. I'll defend this. I'll do what's right." Because to an Aries energy, the right is what makes something mighty. So the Aries is always the take charge part of it. The Libra aspect, let's say someone is an Aries, but they don't have one of their, what I call the trifecta, the sun, the moon, or the ascendant in one of those signs. Then they've got more of the lessons of Aries. They may be in a quagmire or caught up in some kind of codependent triangle in a seventh house issue, Libra, seventh sign. Aries is the first sign, Libra is the seventh sign. So a lot of Aries out there can get dragged underwater with codependent relationships. They don't even know how they got there in the first place. They're just like, damn, I just want to be real and genuine and authentic.
Yeah.
But see, the shadow for Libra is that it's hard for them to let go. Every Libra client, mainly sun signs, but every Libra client, male and female that I've had, they actually consider it like a real character flaw if anyone they've ever loved or been married to or even made love to that they can't still call up and be friends with. And I'm like, oh, bro, wait till you reincarnate as a Scorpio and you'll find out that's a drag line.
Yeah. All right.
Because there's people that have come into your life and really, even if it's difficult or we got betrayed or they ripped us off or they hurt our feelings or they all that, and yet they were nice to touch. I mean, so there's still a part of that once we can kind of pull our head back from expectations, like, well, I did this, so why didn't you do what you said you would do? When you pull back from the expectations and you just look at it from A is A and B is B, then what I would say to answer that for any sign is when it comes to the general vibrational themes, life chapters, you look at your sun sign. That's your ego. That's your self that you kind of put out there. That's when you read about your sign, you go, oh yeah, I can see that. And also there's people that say, I don't see myself as a Gemini at all. Okay, so that rising sign and that moon, here's the order I put them in. Your rising sign is number one. Number one. that you look at the dates and the times. Then you blend that with the external. The rising sign is the inner aspect of you, and the sun sign, your solar sign, is how you're going to play that out, and how you're going to be more comfortable with that. But your moon sign is what's going on in your psychological and how you bring it to Creator, how you take it to God, how you let it go, or how you're struggling with it. The moon sign is kind of our secret self. So for me, when I've looked at prognostications for my sun or my moon or my rising sign, I don't put my moon sign in that at all. My moon sign, I pay attention to my moon sign when it's a full moon, either in my moon sign or opposite my moon sign. That's when I look at my moon sign, or a new moon. Like right now, if you're an Aries or an Aries moon, oh my Lord, this is so powerful for you and very favorable. So yeah, but I don't tend to put my moon sign in the predictive part of it. I don't. Not until it's a full moon or a new moon on my moon sign, if that helps clarify it a little bit. But the more specific an astrological recipe will be when it comes to what's going on out here in April, May of 2021. So you don't get confused. Find out what your rising sign is, like do some research on your birth time, AM or PM, get it as exact as you can, and then find out your ascendant, aka rising sign. Use that as number one as far as predictive work on Mars is here and Venus is here in the fall. Yeah, look at that way. So when I'm doing the forecast each month, listen to your rising sign, make notes on that first, and then the add-on, the whipped cream on top of the dessert or the hot fudge on top of the sundae, that's your sun sign. That's how that recipe works. Like, do you want nuts or do you want hot fudge or do you want vanilla ice cream? What do you want to put on top of that? So on top of that, the whipped cream on the pie is your sun sign. The actual dessert, yeah, that's your rising sign, a.k.a. ascendant. Does that help?
Yeah, that helps. Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So you ready to take some calls? Let's do this thing.
I am.
Let's start with, let's see, 620 area code. You're on the air with Mary Decina. Who are you speaking with? 620 area code. That's you. I don't know why I can't hear them. Hold on, let me figure this out. Just 1 second. Let me figure this out. Everything got switched up on me again. I'm sitting there going, why can't I hear them?
I can't either.
Let me see.
Ghost in the machine.
That should fix it. Are you there, 620?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
There you are. Yeah, we can hear you.
Just now I can hear you.
This is Ashley from Corpus Christi, Texas. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hey,
I tell
Ashley.
you what, Ashley, you have got the magic ability to make it through all the jammed lines and everything on the New Moon show. I mean, obviously, Lighting the Void is one of your alchemical totems because, I mean, you get in all the time. Number one, I admire your discipline and your respect of Joe and I. But, I mean, you do it, girl. I mean, you just like, bam! It's like, wow, it's Ashley. She did it again, Joe. She did it again. So am I picking a card or do you have a question?
Yeah, I just want you to pick a card and let your guides give me the message I need to receive.
Okay, I feel, first off, before I pick a card, I feel that there's really nice components beginning to converge and merge and work together with you. It's kind of like the animal totem that I'm seeing is like the little field mice or the house mouse that really doesn't mean any harm, but it like comes in when it's cold weather. And I feel like that you're beginning to have some light-hearted, fun experiences or connections or that's only going to be on the increase. And what Spirit's telling me is that the kindness that you fought so hard to not let any external experience, be it family, friend, or lover, to alchemize into you into being bitter. I feel like that you just kept saying, no, I'm holding on to the power of kindness. No, I'm holding on to the fuel of faith. And yes, I am going to represent with those things because when it comes to who I want to make love to or who I want to work with, I am going to be that force that brightens the room. Not from an ego sense, but from I have to represent it because that's what I want to manifest. So it's like Spirit's telling me, tell Ashley that her kindness, it's like beginning to sit down and lay down a towel or a blanket by a pond and just take those self-nurturing moments for yourself or stargazing. And the card that I get for you is the High Priestess. So to me, and I'm certainly not the end-all, be-all, know-it-all, but to me the High Priestess has a lot to do with the energies of anchored intuition, and it has a lot to do with kind of solitude ceremonies, and that might be actually physically writing down what your goals or your intentions are. A lot of times I'll write it on a soft napkin, Ashley, and I'll put it under the bottom part of my pillowcase. And so I've got like a little, sometimes you can even do it with a Kleenex if you just write it gently with a felt pen that, writes really easy. And just start out with, I now give thanks for, thank you, Great Spirit, thank you, Holy Ghost, for helping me with the I now accept, I now receive. And so initially you may have some dreams, or you may have some events in 3 days to 72 hours that show you where you're going at cross purposes to what it is you're wanting to manifest. Maybe we need to slam a door. Maybe we need to not have so many expectations ourselves. But I just want to finish by saying the Piscean energy, wherever that is in your star treasure map, your soul signature map, I feel like that the Piscean energy, the High Priestess energy, is saying to you, right now, this is a deeper conversation and a closer walk with thee. Make sense?
Yeah, it does. A lot. Oh,
You guys,
goodness.
go make some notes, Ashley. Go make some notes.
Okay.
Thanks for your call,
Thank you so
Ashley.
much.
Thank you, honey.
You guys have a good night.
You too.
Thanks, sweetheart. You know me, Joe, fast and furious.
No, that's fine. That's great. Let's see. 707 area code. You're on the air with Mary Ducina, who he's speaking with.
Hey, y'all. This is Jody.
Hey, Jody.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Joe. Hey.
Thank you, Jody. Jody, right off with you, I get a sense of groundedness, and that you know about how to keep yourself anchored and grounded, like the places in nature and in your walks or your swims or your meditations or prayers. You know how it feels when you're grounded and when you're centered. Like Jody knows her roots. Jody knows where she needs to anchor down. And I feel like, right now you're at the groundedness, like crystals and stones and looking at the flowers, maybe planting flowers or herbs or something. And I feel the card you have is the Two of Wands. That's fire, the way I've learned tarot. It's an element of fire, so fires are desires and keywords of inspiration and aspiration. What are you aspiring to do, and who or what's inspiring you? But these two magic wands are glowing with what I started out the show with, sky fire. So that might be stars. That might be lightning softly behind the clouds. It might be odd lights in the sky. Orbs is another thing that might happen. Holding your crystals out in the sun like quartz crystal, it's an amplifier, or charging your crystals, if you will, by the moonlight. But I feel like that this Aries, like both of these antenna of electricity has a different kind of shock or fire element to it. So I feel like there's an electrical plugging in to your above world, the ancient ones. You may even find out something fascinating about your lineage or your DNA, or there may be a dream where all of a sudden what looks like a symbolic person or messenger in a dream is actually you in another aspect of your soul or an angelic guide. There's something coming of a spiritual, mystical nature that's going to show up as that guide or that teacher in your meditations, and I see it in your dreams too. You're going to start to have a very, very active dream experience to where you actually wake up in the morning and go, I remember that. I was there. That's not just a dream. I went there. I was in that dimension, and I brought back some gifts and some talents and some big answers from that. So there's something about, and maybe that won't just be limited to lucid dreaming, where we're awake in the dream and aware that we're dreaming in the dream. That's a lucid dream. When you're in the dream and you're like, oh, I'm dreaming this. Oh wow, I'm in both dimensions at the same. Like you're right in the middle of the matrix there. I feel like this is going to be like your dreams are big time going to be like an oracle showing up, going, take your question into your sleep. Take the question, let go of the frustration, give up the anxiety on the altar of the Christ, or up to the the archangels. Just let it go, acquiesce. vow by letting it go. You don't have to be the only one to solve it, and we're going to answer you. So I really see that like around the 19th to the 24th of this month. So make a note on that. And as we always say, please feel free to email Joe or myself and let us know, or both of us, and let us know how that hopefully, my hand to God, benefits you.
There you go, Jody.
Holy crap.
Did that work for you? Usually pretty spot on when she does these readings, right? It's usually.
Oh my God. Yeah. Bless you, Mary. Love you.
I love
you
that. So fresh and so relevant.
It's like,
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was raw and real, and that's like psychic sizzle. I like it.
Yeah. I try to tell you guys, man, there's a lot of imitators out there, but there's only one Mary. You know that.
Oh, Joe,
now,
that's so
you?
kind.
You know it now,
Thank
don't
you,
you?
Jody.
Thanks for your call, Jody.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
She has the psychic sizzle.
Yeah, she got that 100% spot on reading right there, I bet. 403 area code, you're on the air. Who are you speaking with?
Hey guys. Hey Mary. Hi Joe. It's
Hey.
Harris.
It's Harris? Is that what you said your name was?
Yeah.
Okay, what's up, Harris?
I'm good.
Harris, I feel like something's been on your mind.
Lots.
Yeah, I feel like there's been a fault line. You know, like nature gets a fault line, and it's like it might not be a 7.0 or 8.0 earthquake, but I feel like there's been like an emotional or a feeling fault line, and you're an old enough soul that you're kind of pulling back, going, okay, I got to get a different perception on this. I need to take this to my heart. I need to take this to the altar, or maybe even on bended knee. I can see how this could go into 2 or 3 paths, and I need to make sure that I look at the long-range view of this, because number one, I'm not going to get manipulated. Number two, wow, that was a hard thing to kind of sense and see about that. And number three, dang, I got to probably make a decision. And it's probably roared in a little faster than what you thought it would. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, the decisions for putting things into action, coming into an entirely new version of me, paying attention to the symbolism in my dreams. I started practicing tarot, and now I dream in tarot. Now I start seeing cards and everything.
How nice.
Yeah, it is wonderful actually, and I've embraced it, and there's this pulling energy towards relationship, and I wanted that outside perspective, because like I've found myself attracted to signs that are very much opposite of me. I'm Aries, and I always find myself in a position where I'm attracted to a Capricorn, always.
They're both pioneers and hard workers. The Capricorn will climb the mountain with you, but the Aries gets impatient. The Capricorn's like, I got this. And let me talk to you about those animal totems real quick. The mountain ram can zoom up and down the mountain really fast, but the mountain goat has a certain shape on their hoof that actually creates a suction, and the mountain goat it's kind of like the tortoise and the hare. The hare, the rabbit would be the Aries, and the tortoise would be the Capricorn. So it's like the Aries can go ahead and go, wait till you see what I saw. Hurry up. And the goat's like, no, I'm not going to miss what I need to see along the way. And so, see, the goat can eat different, because it changes at altitude. When you go high up on mountains, like when I went out west and went all the way up on the top of the Hopi Mesa, or you go to, 8,000, 10,000 feet versus 3,000 feet, you start to see how the shrubbery and the trees and the foliage change in that atmosphere. When you take one of those inclines in Colorado, you're like, whoa, look at how fast this changes. So I feel 2 cards fell out, which will be appreciative by you since you're studying the tarot: the King of Wands, King of Fire, and the Magician. Now, the Magician in this particular artistic vibration the magician to me has a lot of beginning Aries type of vibrations to it. Not a lot of people see that way, but I see the magician as full-on yang, and I see the high priestess as full-on yin. Now, other cards do a blend of the anima and the animus and the yin and yang, but you've got the King of Wands, which has star lions. Now, what I mean by that is he's kind of like got a dragon chariot in this deck, and there's two lions like when you would see in the chariot card. Sometimes there's two sphinxes, sometimes there's whatever. But in UFOlogy and in ancient star systems, if you look at the Lyrians, if you look at the whole energy of what they, some people are really drawn to Orion, some people are drawn to the Pleiades, I'm drawn to Sirius. But if you look at star systems, or maybe our starry seeds, because we're stars. So if you look at our starry seeds, I feel like that you need to do a little research on the Lyrian race, the lion, the star system of the lion people and the lion attributes of those starry citizens, we'll call them, because I feel like, and maybe Leo is going to be strong with that too. You got to look at Draco, because there's a dragon here. The dragon breathes fire, but it can also whack the crap out of somebody with its tail when you look at all these dragon archetypes in movies. But then you've got the magician, and I'll send this picture to Joe later on out of this deck, because there is a resting dragon, there's a pyramid in reverse, and there's yin-yang symbols all over this, and then the magician's table is circular, like one of the Celtic spirals. The caduceus, the medical caduceus, is going literally up the front of his chakras with one white snake and one black snake on that medical caduceus. He has his right arm, yang, immediate future, raised up, and he's literally, with his magic wand, taking on the full impact of a shooting star or a comet, or what do you want to call that. So he's actually being electrified and imbued and charged up, all deliberate word Spirit saying, by this shooting star. He has the ability to take on that currency. So I feel like there's different kind of currency in life, and I feel like you're ready to step into some soul enhancements to do with intimate currency, intimate worthiness, intimate credit, and intimate prosperity. That's what I feel is going on with you. So as long as you put your shields on, as long as you put your golden light on and the color and the sound healing that you're drawn to right now, as long as you surround yourself with that helmet and that sword and that breastplate of however you connect with the divine, then you're rebuking the shadows and the lures of the temptations that want to beguile and bewitch you away from what your heart chakra knows is good for you. So you want to align this with the great almighty I am. However you connect in with the Creator, I believe that's your first step. Big time.
Okay.
Big time.
Yeah, if I may, real quick, I've been noticing, like, again, just starting to see through a lot of, it's been a progress of awakening. We all know it doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
And I've been starting to notice that I see the drones, the robots,
Yep.
Maybe those are just tough words to describe things and people I see, but I see the illusions falling, and your metaphor for the.
Listen, we got to take a break. We're 2 minutes over break here, so I'm sorry to cut you off there, brother. We got to take a break.
Make sure you email or chat that back to Joe, because I do want to. I know he's got to do the break, and I'm gonna shut up, but I do want to hear the rest of that, because I feel like he's had a real point of awakening and will benefit your whole audience.
All right, we'll be right back, guys. Stay with us.
Hey, this is No Way Jose, a Northern California Piscean stuck in the Arizona desert. I'm a void walker, and I got the shoes to prove it. So what do I do when my soul yearns to delve deep into the realm of the unknown? I aim my satellite straight into the night sky and catch a smooth ride on the KTLK-DB radio waves. I tune into Lighting the Void with Joe Root on the Fringe FM.
Joe, Lighting the Void is the best show on the planet. This is Barney, your friend from Facebook. Thank you and all the crew for all you do. Namaste, my friend.
This is Macon from the foothills of North Carolina, and I am a void walker.
G'day, void walkers. This is Lily from down under Australia. The world may be small, the enigma is greater. So let your curiosity take you for a journey with Joe Root.
Hey, this is Fee, coming in from Central Maryland, and I am a void walker.
This is Kevin Doherty, a beginner void walker. I'm from Vancouver, BC. I know a little about a lot, and as Leonard Skinner said, I'll guess the rest. I learned a lot from Mr. Root in the show, and heard it from the beginning. I knew right then he was going to be a new art pal. Thanks for all your shows, and keep it up.
Hey, this is Derek from Mass, a.k.a. the Night Stalker, and I'm a void walker.
This is Mark from Chicago, and I walk the void to ascertain what is consciousness.
My name is Jared Johnson, and I'm from Humboldt County, California. I do not know all the answers to the questions about reality. I do not claim to know the ultimate truth about life. I seek that which has been made hidden as a part of a family of explorers of consciousness. I'm a void walker. Thanks, Joe Root.
This is Barbara Charlton from Metaphorical Archaeology. If you've ever had a traumatic paranormal experience, the effects of it may stay with you for years. Who do you talk to? You can't go to conventional help. What we do is we use emotional freedom techniques or tapping to actually neutralize the effects of that event. Maybe when you tell the story now, your heart races and your palms get sweaty. You don't even want to think about it because you don't know how to neutralize that. That's what EFT tapping does. It neutralizes those emotions. The circuit that was recorded on is gone. The energy flows freely and you're free of it. And that's what emotional freedom is all about. We offer this as a pro bono service, but this is something that I offer because no one, it seems, is helping people with these experiences. If you'd like to reach me, it's really easy. My cell phone is 214-995-3754. Please leave a message. I will get back to you as quickly as possible. Or you can email me, barb.eft@gmail.com. And EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques. Reach out to me. It's confidential. This works. You won't believe the results.
Have you heard of heavy metals?
Yeah!
I'm not talking about the heavy metals in the junkyard. I'm talking about the heavy metals that build up in your body. Heavy metals in your body can make you feel sluggish, fatigued, and just plain off. Why not try Life Change Tea at GetTheTea.com? Cleansing your body and making you feel great. Cleansing the inside of your body of intruders that sneak their way into you and set up an intruder camp. Life Change Tea helps remove unwanted intruder camps. Brew it, steep it, and drink in the results. Tastes great, so you can create a new health habit. Our tea loves to help people. It just needs the chance. So order yours today by logging on to GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Our Life Change Super Strength Tea is waiting. This could be a beautiful relationship. Take charge of your health. Order at GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com.
The Fringe FM isn't just a radio station. We also provide services for all your audio production needs. If you're interested in live radio or pre-recorded podcasts, we're here to help. We even do audio enhancements and voiceovers if needed. If you want to do a podcast or live radio show and even want the option to syndicate on terrestrial radio, from simple audio file enhancement to live production and call screening, we have you covered. We have worked with some of the best professionals in the business in order to provide coaching instruction for content creation, show structure, and more. Contact The Fringe Digital Media for more at info@thefringe.fm. That's info@thefringe.fm. Or call 501-777-5631 for a consultation.
From the Kingdom of Arkansas. You are listening to Joe Root and Lighting the Void here on The Fringe FM.
All right, welcome back to Cosmic Conditions. April the 12th on into the 13th. Big happy birthday to Dan Lopez. And we're taking your calls. Mary Ducene is giving out free readings, 1-800-588-0335. That call-in number is 1-800-588-0335. You can go to her website at MaryDucina, MaryDucina.com. Mary, everybody I know, just about everybody I know, has gotten a reading from you. And they're all like up in arms about, man, their lives are changing because of you. Know that.
Thank you, glory. Glory to the Almighty I am.
That's right. All right.
No, really,
That's right.
I mean, really. I listen. I'm sitting here on the landline. I'm throwing my hands up, just like those great black women do in a Southern Baptist church. Glory. I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel the. You know, speaking about. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, audience.
You will.
Bless you all. Thank you for the validation. It lets us continue. I give a whole lot of free pro bono stuff on, like Barbara Charlton does on my website. I do posts and I do on Cosmic Conditions. They have to send a little friend request. So I know how much I show up in my integrity and my genuineness as a person. Now, that takes years. That takes discipline to get your own heart hills that you have to crawl over and, you know, kind of harder lessons in life that we have to face.
Yeah.
But when you're thinking about Aries is, when you think about getting ahead, Aries rules the head in medical astrology. So it's our 5 known senses, you know, sight, hearing, taste, touch, you know, so it's all around the eyes, the ears, the tactile, the taste, the touch. So it has a lot to do with the top chakras, third eye, crown chakra, and so it's got a lot to do with what will now move me ahead, what will now move me further. And I knew when it went into Aries, I hadn't had a facial in a long time. You do that a lot when you live in Florida. But I found this holistic person that did facials and does like an infrared thing and a dermophile and all that kind of stuff, because I don't do plastic surgery and Botox and all that. God bless you if you do. I don't. I'm studying nutrition for too long.
I'm glad you don't.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't need fish lips. I've got good Italian lips. I don't need fish puffed up lips. So anyway, she only uses farm-to-table natural products, because here's something that I didn't ever put together in my head, Joe, until I really started doing that 25-year-plus trek of nutrition and holistic products when I was studying Burt's Bees. And the representative that we took the training with in Atlanta said, anything, I didn't know this, didn't think of it, anything that you put on your skin, you are literally ingesting. Now, I know Ryan Gable knows these things because he studied it and I have his books, you know.
Well, that's kind of common knowledge. Your skin is an absorbent, so, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but 25 years ago, I didn't put it together. You know, I knew not to use baby oil at the beach. I knew that. I was using olive oil, you know, or cocoa butter. I knew that. But I didn't quite put the intensity of anything that I'm using under my armpits for deodorant, or these perfumes that people pay $200 for, or colognes, have a lot of toxic chemicals in them. I didn't get that. I didn't piece that together. But that was a turning point for me. So Aries is like, what one thing? So I went and had a facial. I went and had an hour-and-a-half facial with all natural stuff and fruit enzyme peels and la, because I knew, okay, I need to just go let my face and my head have like a self-nurturing moment. I'm just going to lay there and let that happen. So that wasn't a priority to me, but it was like a really good deal too, $30. I'm like, oh my God. So I did that for me, and I did that to represent acknowledging the Aries part of the body. You know, like with Pisces last month, we talked about reflexology. We talked about soaking your feet in Epsom salt. So Aries now is about, and in a mystical sense, it's our, as Edgar Cayce talked about, the silver and the golden cord that are connected to the heavens. You know, so we have a physical umbilical cord that is severed when we come in and take full commitment of our earth walk, but our spiritual cords are still very much anchored to our true origin, our true home in the heavenlies. So the dimensions, the higher dimensions, the higher worlds. So right now, Aries is saying, let's not forget about the fact that you always have an ability to be either the outlet plate or the plug. And Aries is telling us, what exactly are you putting your plug into? What exactly are you allowing to electrify you or be too much voltage in your life at this moment? Like, are you overloading the electrical panel?
Yeah, I can just tell you, like, from my experience, I would say in the past 2 years, especially now, this realization of, like, I don't know what it is about impatience with end Aries, but you know, like my right, but my patience has been really tested, and I feel like I did really good, but at the same time, while my patience was being tested, it brought out a lot of things in me that need to be worked on. Right?
Nice. That's a great way to approach it.
Well. And it seems like, and it's inevitable. It's one of those things that doesn't go away, you know?
Right.
And I don't know how else to explain that. It's caused me to have some, like, real eye-opening experiences.
Your aha and epiphany moments?
Yeah, but not having the connection that I desire to have, and the impatience of it, has also caused a lot of dark stuff to come out of me too, you know. And
yes, all of us. You're not unique in that. I feel like that. You know, I heard a gal say today at one of the meetings I went to. She said, you know, my friend's like in her upper 60s, and she still makes the statement, "Well, I'm like my father, like this, and I got this from my mother." And I said, Jesus, in her 6th decade, and she's still doing the childhood storybook. I said, people, please. Everybody has a unique childhood hook. That was Freudian. Childhood hooks and patterns and stories, and some of it's wondrous, and some of it's like the scary monsters in the woods. You know, there's a reason why they have Little Red Riding Hood, Aries, being chased by a wolf and hiding in Grandma's clothing, because Grandma was always like, you know, our grandmas can be like the grandmother moon kind of a thing. So, you know, and so, oh, what big eyes you have, you know. So there's eyes, Aries. So when you look at Little Red Riding Hood, that's an Aries fairy tale. That's an Aries fable. So it has a lot to do with what character are you playing right now psychologically. Are you Little Red Riding Hood? Are you the wolf? Or are you grandmother?
Well, you know, I think learning that, what you were talking about earlier, like, you know how you always talk about back your truck up or whatever, like
pump your brakes.
Yeah, there has to be a wisdom in that too.
There is.
When you tell a person that, and also a wisdom that you don't allow, you just keep allowing things, because even if you allow it, it doesn't matter the intentions of the other person or how good or bad they are. At some point, if you start allowing things that you know hurt you, it's not that really that person's fault anymore. Like, I mean,
absolutely,
you didn't set a boundary, and you can't blame.
You know, you and I have
anybody
talked about that a lot. You and I have talked about that a lot.
Yeah, but I had to go through hell to realize it, and it's nobody's fault. I swear to God on this, it's nobody's fault but my own. Nobody's.
And the people that it's like, okay, let's encapsulate that with the Aries Libra thing. We disrespect ourselves when we rekindle a relationship that humiliated us. So I'm disrespecting me when I rekindle or allow anything of disrespect in a relationship. If I keep letting that happen, that's not their fault. That's my fault.
Yeah, see, I've done that in business, family, like especially my close personal relationships. And sometimes people don't really know how bad something hurts you. And then if you express it to them, business-wise, whatever, family,
right.
It doesn't come out so well, especially if you're in Aries, right? It doesn't come out so well sometimes.
To your point, one of the things they use it in regular psychological therapy too. They'll use a pillow, like in AA meetings or when you go to conventional therapy, couple therapy, things like that. Yeah. Well, no. The talking that started with the talking stick and the great sacred hoop and the medicine wheel. Whoever gets handed the peace pipe or the talking stick, as they say, or if the therapist hands Joe the pillow, no matter how fired up somebody else is that you're having a dynamic challenge with, they're not going to be able to talk because the therapist is the director. It's the Judge Judy, Dr. Phil going, it's not your turn, pump your brakes. Joe gets to talk. Joe's got the therapy pillow. Joe's got the talking stick. So sometimes that mediator, that alchemical Libra, the mediator, the peacekeeper, says, not your turn, Joe, go. And so Joe talks, and you don't let somebody gaslight. You don't let somebody take over the whole thing or stormtrooper you, but instead you say, and Joe, what do you feel you need right now in your life in a relationship? Joe answers that. Pillow hands over to the other person. Okay, what do you feel you need? And then you come back to Joe, and Joe, what do you feel is missing? You go back to the person. Joe, what do you person?
Yeah, but the truth is though, right? Like if I had some real emotional intelligence about that, I probably wouldn't be in that scenario where I'm about to hold a pillow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like it's hard. So people come in this life.
But Joe, you have the higher self of Joe. You have the sacred guardian angel that works with Joe. You have the inner child of Joe. You have the adult man Joe, and then you also have the wisdom seeker Joe. So all of those are integral parts of you that are coming into alignment. So when you start to see, wait a minute, I'm going to let my future self Joe, my higher self Joe, address this. Watch this. With my inner child, Joe, that's disturbed about this and kicking the can down the road. You kind of let them have a conversation before or after, if you will, you've dealt with that person that was frustrating, impatient, or disappointing or non-giving back to you. And you know what? That's alchemy that's free. It's like a different kind of discipline or a process. Like you take your higher self and you incorporate your innocent inner child that's just raw, real feelings. And you let the therapy happen.
Right. I just think I would have had a lot of, if I would have had more wisdom in this scenario in my life, I probably would have been like, hey, whether it's business or interpersonal, whatever, right?
Say it. I want to hear how you'd say it.
Just
say it.
Like,
I want to hear exactly
with
how
wisdom, right? It'd been like, hey, I get where you're coming from. That's cool. And I think we got a thing here too. But you're in this situation and I'm in this situation. I don't think we're quite ready for that yet. But when you get there, and especially when I get there, maybe we got something. Even in business, man, like here's the thing that I've learned in business is, and I wouldn't call it like vultures because that's not true. Business is business. Business people, they like to look at opportunities and things like that. It's more about knowing your worth, right? And anybody that tries to devalue you is a mirror to you. I don't think you can blame the world for trying to devalue you. There's always people that are not going to see your value. But usually if they don't see your value, it's because you're not seeing it. If you
That's
see
where
it,
the term constructive criticism can come from.
right.
And versus the people that just are envious of you and they want to project their shadow onto you so they can take what you've got or make you insecure about a natural talent or acumen that you have, and so they kind of want to get you insecure about it, or that's out there too, or knock you off balance, so they'll take that ball and run with it. So again, to your point, you have to know your own worth, and everybody has a worth. Everybody has a worthiness, absolutely. Some people see it, other people embrace it, or some keep shooting themselves in the foot and they don't allow it. They keep getting in their own way. But it's all truth lessons. That's why if you start to see that you're changing relationships, you're changing jobs, but the same lesson keeps coming back into your life and back into your life. Oh my God, here I am with anger management or abandonment rejection issues, or why am I always the one that seems to be giving so much and then I get dumped? When you start seeing that you can actually put into words that the life play, that you're in the spotlight again and the actors are acting out the same way, but before it was a brunette, now it's a redhead. Before it was family, now it's a partner. Then you say to yourself, time to pump the brakes, and I need to redirect this, and I need to change my script. I need to rewrite this. I'm bored with this movie. I'm bored with this play. And I'm bored with me.
That's it right there. Bored. I think
bored
that's
with allowing it. Yeah.
I'm bored with allowing it, and it's nobody's. So I don't think it's anybody's fault.
You don't have to fault somebody.
Yeah, people want to look for blame. I think it's just.
No, that's a way to gaslight somebody and make an excuse. And now I'm not talking to you. Or I'm not. No. Some of that can be psychological games too. It's just like the talking stick, the talking pillow again. Once you express. I've meditated on this, I've prayed about this, and where I feel I'm stuck is, and what I feel I now know I need is. And if the other person goes, you're always blah, 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 just like, oh, no, you did not hear a word I said. In anything I just said to you, I did not blame you. So don't go there with me. Sometimes we have to come back with what I said was what I feel is missing in me and what I feel I now need. I didn't cut you down at all, him or her. I didn't blame you at all. So by you going blah, blah, blah and taking it personal, that's your way to deflect me. And homie, don't play that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I don't think I've always been that way though.
No, I know. No. Or the other person. If you find the pattern is that every time you want to express your truth and you're vulnerable and you're raw and you're real, doesn't mean that your truth, number one, is going to be their truth. And number two, if you get settled and secure in your truth, it won't matter whether they accept it or embrace it. It won't matter.
And that's where I'm at now.
Worth.
That's where I'm at now.
And it's all okay. It's all okay.
The emotional thing that hurts the most is like, damn, if I would have just been that way from the beginning, like, I wouldn't have like shattered all that stuff, Well,
let's go back to the sky fire. When I just saw my first, what we call in the mountains here, I saw my first lightning bug. We call them lightning bugs. Other people call them fireflies. So when you're a kid and you first see that, if you're lucky enough to be in a four-season area to see that, and you can enjoy the pulsing light of that firefly or that lightning bug, but you can't hold on too tight.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I mean, you can't hold on to a lightning bug too tight. That's pretty good.
Nope.
I like that.
Yeah.
Glory. All right, I just had to ask. It's Aries season. Anyways, let's go to the...
hey, it's your turn. Yeah.
Let's go to the phones here. 402 area code. You're on the air with Mary Decina. Who he's speaking with? You might want to turn your radio down. You're getting a delay, and it's going to mess your brain up, I promise you. All right, we'll come back to you. 406 area code. You're on the air with Mary Decina. Who he's speaking with? 406 area code. There's another one that's got the radio on listening.
Well, they're excited. They're listening.
Yeah, well, you got to turn your radio off, or it's going to mess with your head. Right?
Do you remember how many times Art Bell had to say that?
Yeah, he had to say it a bunch, right?
All the time.
402 area code. You're on the air with Mary Decina. Who are you speaking with? Okay. 713 area code. You're on the air with Mary Decina. Who are you speaking with? 713. What the hell's going on? Are the phones messed
Something
up?
Must be.
I don't think so. I know they can hear me.
We've got them hypnotized, Joe.
713 area code. You're on the air with Mary Decina. Who are you speaking with? Let me just reset these phones or something. Anyways, so did you drop a card so I can put in the Discord chat?
I did. I put it over in Messenger, that magician that I was talking about, to the gentleman that was dreaming with Oracle and Tarot symbology.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'll tell you, to your point, Joe, when you're checking the phones, it's like if I saw like he was talking about, he dreams that sometimes I don't have to look at artistic visuals of cards. With you, I got two cards. I got like the 5 of Cups and then I got the 9 of Pentacles. So that's like a 5 of hearts. So it's the chaos and the confusion, and then the ability to have those energies come into concert. It's like, 3 of the cups spilled, the wine spilled, I spilled some wine. I got a little anxious, I got a little insecure, I got a little impatient. But there's 2 cups that remain. And then you go back, little sneaky thing about the tarot, then you go back when you get the 5 of cups and you go look at the 2 of cups, because there's 2 cups remaining upright, still with their fluid. Okay, their communion. So the 2 of cups is a soulmate card. So even though we have high tide, low tide of disappointments or expectations, you end up with the sneaky symbol in the 5 of cups is that the 2 of cups is what's right in front of you.
All right, so let's see if these things work now. 406 area code. You're on the air with Mary Ducina. Who are you speaking with?
Hi, this Kat. I can hear you guys now. I couldn't hear you before.
Yeah, something was messed up. So, you want a card, or do you want Mary just to give you a reading, Kat?
Mary, I usually ask you to pick a card for me, but I'm going to ask you an esoteric question this time, something different.
Absolutely.
So what I'm going to ask is, in the mornings, I do my prayer rituals, my prayer calls for things that have to get done on the planet. And so I'm just wondering, with your most powerful psychic abilities, can you tell me, maybe on a scale of 1 to 10 or whatever, how much work I'm doing, if I'm making a dent, or how am I helping the whole cosmic web here?
Absolutely, because there were the times where we had revolutions like now in the 60s, if you look at that recent history, and then we had the going into playing and discoing and the herbal, revolution and all that going into the 70s and 80s, and then it got into the me first and, that kind of stuff in the 90s. And now, but those of us that were metaphysical or meditating or surfing or whatever, doing plants, whatever it was, we started to realize as we went through these decades, we started to realize that first we were studying mysticism and metaphysics and our prayer rituals and all that kind of stuff, and traveling and doing all these kind of things and learning, whether it was New Zealand, Australia, or Taos Pueblo. And then all of a sudden the shift that happened at 2012, Kat, was that those of us that were happy to be studying the mystical and the light and the harmony of the heart and spirit as one, all of a sudden we got called into action. And then we got booted into soul boot camp in 2017 with the Great North American Eclipse. So rather than us just seeking that guru or that seminar or time in nature, time in the woods, time on the beach, all of a sudden it's like by the big planetary alignment of January of 2012 and the political pandemic, blah, 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 the first time in known history that I think of, the whole world started to do this shutdown. The light workers were like, our guides were saying, okay, you need to get involved now. You need to, I'm telling you, Kat, just like you, daily, I say, Great Spirit, Holy Spirit, protect all the innocent and collapse the evildoers. And I send golden light and to the whole planet, like you're talking about. We have to do it. We are making a difference. So I applaud you. Thank you for what you're doing. Never doubt it.
Well, thank you. Do you think I'm making a difference? Because my list is seeming to getting bigger and bigger, and now I'm at a point where I think I have to type up a call sheet to just, so I don't forget it all, because it just seems to be getting bigger. And you're right that, all this fun that I used to have is not there, and it's like this. It is kind of like a burden, but I'm happy to do it, but I still would like to know, because you're psychic, if I'm making a dent. Am I doing
Absolutely.
something?
Let's put it this way. If one was just, once a year on Beltane, or once a year on your birthday, or once a year at summer solstice or something, you attended some great meditation or whatever. Let's say that's 1. And let's say 10 is, I feel the heartbeat of the as above worlds. I feel heaven to earth. I feel no matter what's going on in the external or the fake news or all of that stuff, I feel these angelic hosts. I feel my guides walking beside me. I feel to be generous to that person or that venue or that podcast or that guy on the street. I feel that I'm supposed to participate and be an active soldier of soul. So the fact that your dedication has increased is in balance to the results that's happening. Now, in your dream lodge, Kat, in your dreams, what I would do, because I feel like it'll be a nice validation for you, not that you need it, because you're beyond that point, but I get a message from my guides that if you'll just allow in your dream lodge, if you'll, as you're, restoring the body but traveling across the river of stars, the star nations, if you'll allow yourself to be in ceremony in your dream lodge, like you're actually going to be doing, sitting at the sacred hoop or the wheel and the crystals and the directions, let that happen in your, cast that as you're going into your dream lodge, and you'll enjoy them validating you in that dream. Because they'll show up for you.
Okay, that sounds great. That sounds great.
Yeah, I told
means,
you that too,
but
Kat. You might be like way ahead of everybody sometimes.
Yeah, I'm sure. Because they're showing me like the star, like a different star system council that wants to show up and actually have a meetup with her. But it's not in this dimension. It's not in this dimension, although it's applicable here also. But I feel like that you're ready to also be able to have those holy communions around a star orbit. I see, like instead of a medicine wheel, it's actually a starry. You know how they look like star clusters in the galaxies, different things like the nebula and Andromeda. It's like that. It's like
Pleiades.
Yeah, you're going to be. There's like a starry cluster that's going to turn horizontal and actually be that feast table that I can see it, that you're actually going to receive validation from. And some of it you may just hear the voice. Some of it you may see it in color. Some of it may actually, you'll wake up with it going, I just got shifted. It's like you'll have a knowing. Yeah, you'll have a knowing.
It's kind of like something happened to me today. Like, I don't know, for the last 3 days I thought, I need to see a musician by the store. They used to do that, and I haven't seen them since the lockdown. I said, I really need to see that. And then I went to the store today, and here's this guy sitting on the curb with a saxophone and his little cans. I was like, whoa, that's my validation. So I gave him some money. So that was sort of like a validation.
Well, yeah, that's always good stuff there, too. That always helps, Keep the energy
Kindness
going.
Matters.
Well, thank you,
Kindness
Karen. That's awesome.
Thank you, Kat. Kindness and dedication matter, but it's that discipline that we have that's an area of my life I never, how they say, don't say always or never, I never allow myself to procrastinate when it comes to soul spirit work, to recharge me, to give back to this lifetime that I'm doing, to love my nature, to love the animals, to bless people that I get an indication that are deserving of it. And make no mistake about it, as you and Joe already know, I'm that fierce warrior woman too. It's just like if all of a sudden Spirit says, Buzz saw that, I'm there. I'll take it on. I'll back them up.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Thank you, Mary. Love you.
Bless you, honey. Bless you. Thank you. Love you too.
All right, so let's go to 713 area code. You're on the air with Mary Ducina. Who are you speaking with? 713.
Hi, this is Russell.
Russell. What's up, brother?
Good evening, Russell. Happy new moon, Russell.
Did we lose Russell?
Something sounded like it clicked.
No, we'll come back to
I think we got a
Russell.
ghost in the phone line.
Yeah, 402 area code. You're on the air with Mary Ducina. Who are you speaking with?
There we go, 402. Hey, it's Brian. Hi, Mary. Hi, Joe.
What's
Hi,
up, Brian?
You got me?
Happy new moon,
Hey,
Star
all right.
Traveler.
Happy new moon. Rock on.
Well, you know what I'm talking about with the sacred hoop and the medicine wheel now, don't you?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. I'll second that with everything that Kat said. That's exactly the way I've been feeling lately. But everything's good. Everything's good. I don't want to ask a question, but I kind of want to say, are there any blind spots? Because if we're rolling into the future that far, is there some blind spots there? If we can do that, maybe.
That's interesting. That's a well thought out question. What I see with you is that you made a commitment long ago and far away that you would be that path traveler, be it as a pirate or a soldier or a disciple or devotee, or a child to an adoring parent, or a parent wanting to adore the child, or the willing medicine apprentice. But what I see with you is that intuitively, spiritually, like we walk with our feet on the earth mother, your feet are like you deliberately have turned them like to the heavens, like the soles of your feet. No accident, it's S-O-L-E, S-O-U-L, phonetically the same. I feel like your feet, that you've turned them skyward. You've turned them heaven-bound. And it's kind of an intense discipline thing to do, Brian, because what you've done is I'm walking with a footprint in both worlds, but I want my minor chakras in the soles of my feet, in the arch of my feet. I want them to receive the encodement and the assignments and that which I am to pay attention to and activate the talents of my discernment and my directional course to be first heaven sent, and then I will participate while I'm here. It's like you made that code a long time ago. And I feel like it's kind of like that movie Dragonheart when he has a vision of King Arthur, and they keep reciting the Knight's Code. They keep reciting the Knight's Code. I feel like that, like the Knights Templar or the Knight, and how the Knight would be so dedicated to the King or the Queen, like they absolutely made a full life walk commitment to their loyalty to the ruler. And I feel like that's been one of the archetypes for you. So it's not so much superhero, it's about I will protect the throne. I will be loyal to those principles that I believe. And I feel like that your beliefs are coming back now, that you've done a lot of growing. And as far as you saying, if you look at a far perspective, are there any kind of glitches in the matrix or any kind of like immediate future hurdles or obstacles or, little rocks in the path type of a thing? I get that something about July of this year is going to be a needed chapter that has a nice ending. But, endings, even when they're pleasant, they kind of make us go, oh, okay, that's big. I've invested a lot in that. That was an interesting intrigue for a long time. But I feel like that you're coming into that latter part of June, opening part of July. I'm pretty sure I haven't looked recently. I looked last year, but I'm pretty sure there's an eclipse in July. And I feel like that there's something about that Moonchild Cancerian period that brings a really nice, personal type of manifestation of somebody that you're going to enjoy hanging with, doing ceremony with. Like you're going to grow closer with somebody. You're going to grow and go closer with somebody. Like there's an ancient, intimate heart. I can hear, they're calling it a heart music. There's the music of the heart, and there's someone that carries heart music that's coming into your life. Really strong, really strong. So I don't think it's an obstacle. I think it's a reward.
That's really cool.
Right on. Thank you guys so much. I
love the way he accepts it. He's just like, right on. That's good. I'll take it.
It's like you don't, lately I've been thinking about what you just said, and it's like, what do I do? Do I just surrender into this too? It's like I've done so much of that, it's like, but it gets shaky and you don't know, and
I just keep getting that the main surrendering growth part of it's over for you, and now, if you will, the fruits of your labor of staying the course, being dedicated to the path, giving so much to other people in word or deed or wink or kindness. And also you're very good, Spirit tells me, at continuing to revere the people that once walked this earth that really made an impression in your life, that are in the spirit world. They're like, I think in your case, with your meditations, ceremonies, and dreams, you're going to actually see them in a shining light, being able to say, hey, look at me now.
Yeah, and you're really good at, like, just to brag on you a little bit, man, like you're really good at, easing a tough situation and really making somebody see the light about it too, like the spiritual light about any situation, That's
a gift.
That's a real gift, man.
It's not only a gift, it's a key. You help unlock people.
Sometimes it just feels like it's you're hoping so you start thinking that way. And then then when you land on your feet, that's cool. But Yeah, it works good for other people. It's always shaky for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Anyway,
we're closest to the subject, aren't we? I mean, it's where we kind of do a little bit. I don't want to use the word battle, but it's where we kind of have to look at that. We can be subjective. It's just like when you're learning your chart or oracles or tarot or we're subjective. And we've got to get back to that Buddhist principle of don't be attached to it. Don't be attached to them. Don't be attached to just, it's okay if I get this outcome only. Otherwise, we feel like we failed and we get the shame-blame game going on. So I feel like if we could just trust and acquiesce to the divine frequencies, to the divine almighty I am, and just say, sometimes it needs to be us, Brian and Joe, that says, I put this at the altar of the Christ. I put this at the altar of the divine I am. This is making me weary. I'm confused. I can feel the chaos and the temptation. I'm letting it go. Take it from me. I think that as humans, we get blocked when we don't say, take this from me. I bow. I'm releasing it.
I bow
take
out.
It from me.
That's what I'd say. I bow out. I'm done. Like, I can't do
bow
it.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
all right.
anyways.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you,
Love
Brian.
you guys.
Thank you, Brian. Good to hear from you.
All right.
Bow out, the kind of like, Rooster Cogburn says in True Grit. I bow out.
Yep.
Anyway.
Or Clint Eastwood in his early movies. Hey, punk.
Yeah.
You feel lucky? Yeah, see, I can relate with that. Yeah.
Let's see, we'll try this one. They've been waiting a minute. 713 area code. You're on the air with Mary Ducina.
Those are nice numbers.
I don't think 713 is working. That's the one that clicked a minute ago. All right. Hold on. 214 area code. You're on the air with Mary Ducina. Who are you speaking with? 214.
This is Brent Howell.
What's up, Brent Howell?
This is Brent Howell. Peace, love, gratitude, and power to power. Okay?
How nice.
Hello, Mary.
How nice. Thank you. That was lovely. Thank you. What a new moon affirmation
Glory.
That is. This may surprise you because I kind of feel it's going to, but there's something about the state of Florida, someone from Florida, inviting you to Florida, and then I see like orbiting star systems around you. Like, actually, it's like the if you looked at the zodiac wheel turning, but they're all in white stars, but it's the actual 12 signs of the zodiac, and it's like it's spinning to the right, and then it's going counterclockwise.
Are you going to Florida?
Are you studying the stars? Are you enjoying something about the constellations in your sign, or there's something about the stars?
I've had many thoughts about Florida lately. You're absolutely correct. I was born in Miami, Florida. I've been considering the political situations of actually moving there, but then I've been dismissing them. That's like I said. I know you're psychic.
Thank you.
You're there.
Florida's a Pisces. Florida's incorporation date is March 3rd. It's a Pisces state.
It's a beautiful state.
When you go to Florida, you I don't care what sign you are. When you go to Florida, because it's a peninsula, when you go to that state, you get the mermaid, merman, oceanic, Poseidon, Neptunian vibe. It's like, whoa. And it's like the same minerals and salt water that's in our cell salt. So when you go to Florida, it's baptism and alchemy and cleansing and just and womb waters. It's like the womb waters of the Earth Mother saying, let it go. But in a nice way, like in a warm, beachy, moonlit, oceanic water kind of way. So you're born in Miami. That's interesting. Thank you for that.
Yeah, dolphins.
But I think I would at least visit, Brent. I think I would at least put some boots on the ground and maybe drive there instead of worrying about flying there. And just, even if it's kind of a long road trip, short stay, there's something about that feels like it's got a hug for you.
Yeah. That's where I'd go if I hit a scratch off, a big enough scratch off. That's where I'm going, or the lottery.
Yep.
Y'all disappear into Florida.
Joe.
I love Florida.
Shout out to the chat, and I'd like to request you call out as many names of the chat people who are there. Kat put you through that situation while you were walking outside, remember? To look at the stars.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to make a note. I'll call back on it later, but I had a UFO experience at 5:48 a.m. on Sunday here in Central Time.
Oh, cool!
And
really?
I was employing your techniques, Kat, just as far as just looking, and it's absolutely, undeniably without question true. And I'll talk to you about it later. But I would like to get a card, please.
Okay. What I got from you is judgment, and for me, that's the Archangel Gabriel sounding the trumpet. And in a lot of the traditional tarot decks, it's people rising up.
Judgment.
It's the 20th.
That's right. That's right. You got it.
Dope melody.
It's resurrection. It's arise and awake. It's epiphanies. It's I hear the call. I hear the trumpets. I hear the upper worlds advising me. I'm open to that. And it's like, their arms are up. Their arms are up with supernatural glory and grace and the clouds of glory, the supernatural graces and the winds of change that are in a congruent flow with your spiritual purposefulness here. Your commitment to whatever you study, to know that it's going to be a restoration and a rising up of consciousness for you, and that's really strong for you over the next 3 months. Really strong.
Oh my God! I'm gonna get off the phone. That's enough for me.
All right, Brent.
Get somebody else here. Yeah.
He's got the sizzle. He's got the soul sizzle.
Good night, brother. Yeah, that was a good call, actually. All right, so we probably got time for 2 more calls here. So let me see. 318 area code. You're on the air with Mary Ducina. Who are you speaking with?
Hey, that's me. That's Nate Grubbs.
Make Rubs?
Yeah. Nate.
Right. Nate. Okay. Sorry, I don't know what I heard.
Well, actually, that might have been that.
Good evening.
It's interesting that you said the word make, because the card that fell out is the 8 of Pentacles, the 8 of Diamonds, and that's a work in progress, someone really working at and making and fashioning something that they want to actually be a part of coming about in their life. So it could be job-related. It could be more money coming in with a creative idea. It's that whole balance between giving and taking, but it definitely involves your talents, your skills, and money flowing to you. I see, it's the infinity symbol. It's the 8. And I'm seeing that there's going to be an increase in the ways that you get value and currency and paid and supplemental benefits of income of something that's very strong around you. And I feel like, as far as when we talk about in the good sacred books, signs, omens, and wonders, I see that's actually going to come about to you in validated ways as far as prosperity. So there's something that's good news for you. Maybe Joe's other point about going and buying a scratch and sniff lottery ticket, for $1. Yeah,
buddy.
You might play with that.
Somebody on the show is going to nail one of those things, man. I'm telling you, it might be you.
What did you?
So I heard your last call, and you'd mentioned being from Florida. I actually live in Florida, and I am a Pisces.
Nice.
Oh, that's perfect.
So I guess I've just been going through a lot lately. I'm going through an awakening. I'm new to all of this, and just looking for some guidance, I guess, basic.
Yeah, it's been tough for Pisces. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I went super dark and pulled myself out of a hole, and now through meditation and reading, I don't have any anxiety or depression at all. It's like the other end. My heart center is completely filled, and it's caused some kind of cool things to happen.
Oh, it will. Oh, it will all the time. But you know what? It's nice that you got the perspective, though. It's nice that you saw and went down the shadow forest and the dark hole and met yourself there with the anger and the resentment and the, and then the surrender and then the neutral, and then it's like, I like this side of the equation better. So think about the infinity symbol again. I went all the way over one way, because I call the infinity symbol the golden halo with an intersection. You just take that halo, which is the never-ending circle of life and grace, and you just kind of do a little twist there, and you have an intersection.
Mm-hmm.
So that intersection is neutral, and so you went both sides of it, and where we kind of power up again and fill up our tank is in that intersection of the halo. So you're now coming into the intersection of it really all has a purposefulness. It all has a teaching, and I know that I'm a student. I know that I'm an ever fascinated student of that which I came to do.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm super like excited about all of this, and like in my mind, like the sky's the limit. But I guess I'm struggling on where to start with it all.
What are you trying to get? What do you mean the sky's the limit? Are you talking about material manifestation, or are you talking about spiritual stuff, or what are we talking about here?
He's open.
Well, I mean, a little bit of both. You know, I know that I have certain gifts, and I don't understand quite what they are yet, and I'm trying to come into that.
That's been
trying to figure out how to manifest that.
That's good though,
Yeah.
man. Mary, you tell
Well,
him.
what
Tell him
I
what's up.
see real quick is start with getting. I know everybody likes to get on the phone and text and keyboards on their laptop, but what I see with you is either voice recorded or the strongest thing I see is just go to the dollar store and grab some of those legal size 3-pack pads of paper, carry it with you in your car on your walk. They have little sizes and big sizes of those yellow writing pads, and just write down. The Spirit like has things that they want you to write down. And I feel like if you'll start with that, it'll engage the higher consciousness with your conscious mind to actually take pen to paper or pencil to paper and write it down. And then when you look at it again, it'll be like, whoa, I just got a whole other dimension on that.
Mhm. Yeah, I actually just started doing that. I got a notebook and I got it right on my bed next to me.
What you're reading, find something that stimulates that third eye of you with what you're reading. For me, I can pick up an affirmation book by Yogananda. I can open up a Bible and say, okay, I'm going to look left or right and top, middle, center of the page, and I'll get a message. So you can use, you can use a book. You can use the Librianthemy where you're like actually getting a message out of a book, even if you just go to a bookstore and open up a book and get a message. So there's something about what your eyes are focusing on as far as when you write, what you read, how you focus.
All right. I'm going to have to go I want to take this last call. Thank you for your call, brother. I wish you all the best here. I'm going to take this last call because I've been waiting forever. Sorry, 713. I hollered at you like 4 times. 786 area code. You're on the air. Who are you speaking with?
Hi, guys. It's Hope. How are you? Hi, Mary. I had a reading with you last week.
First time caller?
Hi,
Hope? I don't
Hope.
think you've called in before, have you? No?
No, I've never called in.
Hope is a Voidwalker Patreon too, right?
Love
right?
it.
Yes.
Hope, what am I sensing with your sinuses or I'm feeling
I
like
have
it's like I
allergies.
want to press on like acupressure. I want to press on right where your tear ducts are and you're coming down the sides of your nose. It's like that area right there feels like that it wants a little bit of, I don't know, Reiki energy. I don't know, smell some rosemary or some lavender. There's something about, I don't even know medically what that is right now, but I would study that, whatever that region is, to do with the meridians or ley lines, if you will, of the body. But it's from your tear duct going straight down, like if you were doing the furthest inside curve of the cheek, the flesh of the cheek on both sides. And it's like I feel like there's something to do with the olfactory or the sinus, or some things like being accelerated there. Have you been maybe a little dizzy, or have you felt like that your equilibrium is going through some kind of an upgrade?
No, but I have allergies. Like my eyes are like on fire, So, but I've been trying to treat it naturally with the things that I kind of know already. So
I feel like it's got a higher octave to it. I don't think it's, in a 4-season area, there's different areas like Texas and Tennessee that has certain things bloom, at each month, April, May, June, and so each area's kind of got its own little pollen thing that can go on. But this feels different than that. This feels like that externally on your physical body, it's playing out with a physical symptom. But I want you when you close your eyes, you do your walks or your prayers or you're sitting in nature or meditations, I want you to ask of your higher guides, what is it you want me to sense? What is the smell that brings me relief and comfort with this? What is it you want me to eat? What is it that you want me to hydrate with? Do you want me to have lemon? Do you want me to have apple cider vinegar? What is it? I feel like it's like got your attention in order to teach you something else, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. There's more to it. It's multi-layered. It's multi-layered. And, think about a hound dog. Think about coon dogs. Think about hunting dogs. It's the scent. Think about how a bear has such a heightened sense of smell, like 100 times more than a human. So there's something about what you're sensing, and if the smell is attractive to you or if the smell is repulsive to you. And it might be something as easy. If you really want to do a tune-up on your sinuses, go somewhere and get some, not horseradish sauce. Go somewhere and get pure chopped up horseradish, and you better have some kind of salad or a piece of meat or something to have with that, because it's like that Chinese mustard. It's just like they stab your third eye, and it's like, whoa! And it opens it up right away. But horseradish, even the herb, but horseradish root is something that will absolutely purge and detox, instead of it being a colonic type of thing or probiotics for your intestines. Horseradish will absolutely clear your sinuses, but be ready for the result, because you'll be committed to the ride.
Okay, I think I can handle it.
Thanks for your call.
I would go do that. I would go do that.
Thank you.
All right, Mary, we're like over time. Do you got one last message here you want to tell everybody?
I do. Before we come together on the Taurus new moon on May 11th, that's when the next new moon is. I feel like that if we'll just simply, let's take it real basic. Real quick, real basic. It's Aries. So just look in the mirror and say, what do I want now? And just get that answer. You don't have to judge it. You don't have to do a plus or a minus. What do I want right now? Because Aries is a right now type of sign. And we need to answer that for ourselves and stop kidding ourselves. What do I want right now? And then take it to the spiritual level, and I'll finish with this. Give thanks for it. You got to be able to receive it. It's not just asking. You've got to be able to feel worthy enough, as Joe said, to know your own worth enough to say, you know what? I claim it. I accept it, and I receive it. It's mine. Thank you, Spirit.
Perfect. Perfect way to end the night. You guys have a good night. The Secret Teachings is coming up with Ryan Gable. We'll see Mary again on the new moon. Use that Aries for us to manifest what you want. Do it. Take it. Claim it. Just like she said. Mary, thanks, man. This is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, Captain Joe.
We'll see you guys. Good night. Sweet dreams.